Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. It's been a while since I uploaded, not since I pranked the entire internet. But I am doing a double review today, so I might as well stop wasting time and get right into it. Two Warner Brothers films released this year. Well, technically three if you count Tom and Jerry, but whoo boy, are they on a roll. They are really trying to get my attention. What attention got. So first review we're talking about is Godzilla vs. Kong. This is a movie that I have actually been kind of looking forward to for a while. For those who don't remember, it was originally supposed to come out in 2020, a year after Godzilla King of Monsters, and of course because of the Schmigaliga virus, it got pushed to 2021, which is completely fine because again they weren't done with the movie. What is it with movie studios like releasing trailers to movies that aren't done yet, or announcing a new season during the pandemic? Like a lot of shows and movies got put on hold because of the pandemic. Finish the show and movie first and then release it to the public, but that's beside the point. And for some reason I keep forgetting to put this movie on my most anticipated list of the year, because I remember back in 2019 I was supposed to put it as the number 10 spot on my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020. I forgot. I was supposed to do the same thing again, most anticipated movies of 2021. I forgot again. I have serious issues that I need to work with. But without further ado, let's talk about Godzilla vs. Kong. So first thing I want to say about this movie is I do think it is the best of the MonsterVerse movies. It's better than the Godzilla 2014, better than King of Monsters, and better than Kong Skull Island for a lot of reasons. The first reason being there are very few human interactions in this movie. Even though we have like two subplots following humans, their dialogue isn't bad. I wouldn't say the writing about them is bad, and they're not on screen a lot of the time. I also love the fact that we actually get some monster action in this movie. Mind you, in Godzilla 2014, Godzilla was only in the movie for like 8 minutes, and it was kind of annoying. King of Monsters, he was there a bit more, but the lighting was so bad. And I think that's just the problem with the Godzilla movies, is that the lighting is so bad. Like, scenes will be so dark, you literally can't see anything. And for this movie, the case is kind of the same. Especially, like, for the first 10 minutes or so, the lighting is so bad. It does get better as the movie progresses, but oh my god, it gave me Vietnam flashbacks. Kong Skull Island does have the best monster action, I do think. Arguably, could be better than this movie, though very hard to say. I haven't seen Skull Island in a long time. But this movie, very good monster action. It is dumb, mindless fun, and that is the best way I can describe this movie. It is dumb, mindless fun, and you can just turn your brain off and enjoy this movie for what it is. Another reason why I think it's the best of the MonsterVerse. You can just enjoy this movie for being a simple monster movie without having any deep messages. I do love the visual effects. The CGI looks great. Love the way Kong looks. Godzilla as well. He does look a bit weird in some shots and angles, I would say, especially like in the climax where they're fighting Mecha Godzilla. He does look a bit weird to me, I'm not gonna lie. It's also worth noting that Kong develops more as a character here. Yeah, despite the movie being called Godzilla vs. Kong, Kong gets a lot of development in this movie. He's treated like an actual character. Who knew Big Monke could do something? And those are kind of just my overall thoughts on the movie, like my non-spoiler thoughts. Now we're going into spoiler territory. Though again, this is Godzilla vs. Kong. There's really no spoilers in this movie, and I feel like I have to point that out. This movie is everything you think is gonna be. Like, everything you think will happen in this movie is gonna happen in this movie. Like there is no surprise whatsoever, and I don't even think they're trying to hide that. So yeah, if you think something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen. Mecha Godzilla appears in this movie. Kong and Godzilla fight, obviously. What else? Let's see. Mecha Godzilla appears. Kong and Godzilla fight. Godzilla wins, which I am so grateful for. I do not think I would have enjoyed this movie as much if Godzilla lost to Kong, because Godzilla and Kong have like 3 battles throughout this movie, like in total, and Godzilla won at least 2 of the 3 of them, which I am so grateful that they did, because again, I would lose my mind if Monke won. It's a Monke versus a giant freaking mutant lizard. Hell no. So I'm glad that Godzilla won. Glad I was right, and I think 90% of people are just right as well. I don't know why we have Kong fans in the world, they're weird. Really love Mechagodzilla's introduction. The way he's like part of Ghidorah's skull. By the way, that's also another thing that was very predictable. Of course they were gonna use Ghidorah's skull to like awaken Mechagodzilla. Of course Godzilla was gonna be one. I mean, of course Kong was gonna be the one to kill Mechagodzilla, because they needed to find a way to have Kong kill Godzilla without having Kong kill Godzilla. The whole weird concept of Kong going to like Hollow Earth, that was pretty cool. I liked Hollow Earth. It had this way like weird trippy casual vibe about it. I also remember there was like this Netflix show. I think it was called Kong, King of the Apes. It also dealt with Hollow Earth. And I really like how they touched on it. So seeing this here, I was like, hey, I know something about Kong at least. So yeah, again, there's really not much to say about this movie. The human characters aren't even really that, again, annoying to me. They don't really take up that much of screen time. Like, I know we have the muted little girl, which I have to say is genius on the part of the writers. I'm not trying to make fun of mute people or anything, but usually when we have a child actor in a movie, 90% of the time the child actor does not that do great that great of a job. So the fact that they made the kid in this movie mute, freaking just a spark of genius right there. We also get characters from the last movie. Like, I remember we have that little girl and her father from King of Monsters. So there's that, I guess. And we have this podcast guy. Like, there's this black podcast guy who comes up with the most random conspiracy theories. I love that guy. He is my favorite guy in this movie. He is hilarious. And I just feel like he's basically the guy who just spits out whatever cliche the movie's trying to avoid. Like, oh, dang, I really wanted to hear his villain speech. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you did there. And it doesn't even feel cringy. It's like, I hear what you're doing. You might as well just be winking at the camera while you do it. But we do get some weird white kid who's afraid of everything or allergic to everything. Why can't we just get rid of those characters and stereotypes? But yeah, that's just Kong versus Godzilla for me. Overall, it's a fun movie, very dumb, very just mindless action, which I do appreciate a lot. Like, damn, in the first 10 minutes we actually get to see Godzilla in full form. That has never happened before, my goodness. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. Very good movie, very good conclusion. Again, everything you think is gonna happen in this movie is gonna happen. It is a very predictable movie. So yeah, now let's move on to the second review. Alright then, before we talk about so the second movie we're going to review today is Snyder's Justice League. Why am I calling him Snyder? This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. I don't know, Snack, whatever. There's definitely a bit more to say about this movie than I did Kong vs. Godzilla. So yeah. Anyways, I did include this movie on my top 10 anticipated list. So let's just look at my reaction for that. Then I'll give my review for the movie. Oh no, I cannot sing. Interrupt him. Somebody kill him. Assassinate him. Do it now. Movie that doesn't suck in the DC universe. Oh, hello guys. Yes, today we are talking about Justice League Snyder Cut. This movie hasn't even come out yet. It's the biggest enigma I've ever seen. Aside from Sonic the Hedgehog movie, this is the only other time that the internet was able to actually change an entire movie, because now people weren't happy with the original Justice League. Unsurprisingly, it was a bad movie. I didn't like it, and so everyone's like, bring out the Snyder cut, bring out the cut that we all wanted. And Zack Snyder is like, okay, I'll give you the movie that was my original vision. And here we have the Snyder cut. I actually think it's gonna be better than the original. For one, Zack Snyder would have learned his lesson from the original Justice League that he made with Joss Whedon. And two, I think no matter what, it's just gonna be better than the original Justice League, just because of how weird this movie came into existence. I don't think it's gonna be a good movie by any means necessary, but I do think it's gonna be one hell of an entertaining movie, and I can't wait to watch it. All I can say is, hallelujah. And so those were my thoughts on seeing the trailer. Now, you all know my feelings on the original Justice League. I did not like it in any shape or form. It was really disappointing. It's really hard to comprehend how disappointed I was in that movie. And so when I heard that they're making a Zack Snyder Justice League cut, I'm like, okay, how is he gonna do anything different? And trust me, I was ready to make fun of this movie. Again, as you saw, I said it was gonna be one hell of an entertaining movie. I expected this movie to be so bad. I was expecting to make a rant of this movie, make the funniest video I've ever made. And weird to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, literally, I called Zack Snyder Snyder, not even because he's handsome, just because I wanted to make fun of his name. So when this movie came out, I could make fun of him more, but I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. No joke, this is an actual legit good movie. Obviously not the best, obviously not a masterpiece, but a surprisingly good movie. Like, it's weird. How is this? Am I supposed to be feeling this? Is this normal? Like, this movie, actually did the impossible and became good. I guess that's due to the fact that it's twice as long as the original Justice League, but it works in that opinion because, like, I'm thinking of the original Justice League. I remember how rushed that movie was, how bad it was to look at. Like, that movie was not a very pleasant looking movie. It's just, it was too great. It's like watching a YouTube video at 144p. And this movie looks not really good, but actually feels really good. Like, characters are actually characters in this movie. I could connect with everyone on some sort of level. The action was actually good. The music was fantastic. Like, hello, who is this? Are you telling me? You're seriously telling me that this was all in Zack Snyder's original vision? You're telling me that Joss Whedon came in here and intentionally messed this movie up and Zack Snyder was really the messiah we were all praying for? Hey Allah, no, I refuse to believe that. But yeah, that's Justice League apparently, and it's again, surprisingly good movie, a really fun, entertaining ride. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie obviously has some drawbacks. For one, it's obviously the same Justice League movie that we had in 2017, so obviously some parts of it are obviously gonna feel off. Definitely the first, and second of all, the runtime. Why is this movie 4 hours long? Like, Avengers in Endgame was only 3 hours long. That's just an extra hour. I don't mind that. But 4 hours? That is half a working day, my guy. 4 hours? Who has that kind of time? I literally took 3 days just to watch this movie because it was so goddamn long. And don't even get me started on like the first hour and a half. That first hour and a half was like so freaking boring. I actually thought I might as well just not watch the movie entirely. But again, the movie turned out really well in the end. Let me start with the characters because that's what I can think of as the first thing. I really like the characters in this movie. Cyborg is given so much to do here. I really love his development. The fact that he's like hacked into these computers and he can see everything around the world and he has like all this infinite techno power and he doesn't even know what to do with it. He's like, oh, what the hell? What do I do with this power? How do I make myself better? Like, this knowledge actually hurts my brain, and I'm like, that is a deep and cool character arc. And I know DC announced a Cyborg film. No one was excited for that. But if they actually keep Cyborg's character arc, like the same arc he had in this film, for his solo film, I would watch Cyborg's solo film. That is actually a good arc. I also liked Barry Allen in this. I don't think he was as funny or at least as weird as he was in Justice League 2017, but he did his job right. I also love that trippy scene with him at the end. I don't want to go into the end details because I feel like if you're gonna watch this movie, you might as well go in without having the ending spoiled for you, because that ending is crazy, and I feel like at least you should watch this movie. So go watch this movie if just for the ending, because surprisingly, not everything goes right for the heroes, and then Flash does something that completely turns the tables around. Freaking love it. There's also that apocalyptic future I saw at the end. Like, this was again towards the end of the movie, so I really don't want to talk about it that much, but that apocalyptic future literally broke my mind. I'm like, could we see this? Could this actually be the Justice League we were waiting for? Is this real? Is that actually a good movie right there? So yeah, with that apocalyptic future at the end, I really wanted to see more of that. If anything, I would hope Zack Snyder actually comes back to DC to do one more movie if it's about that apocalyptic future. If he could make a movie about that apocalyptic future, his original vision, I would be there for that. Because I do know Zack Snyder's original plan was that he wanted to make a Justice League trilogy. The first part was going to be getting the team together, the second part was going to be the invasion, and then the third part would have been about the apocalyptic future. However, for this new movie, he just decided to like remove part 2 and then keep a bit of part 3 in the movie itself, so we get to see a bit of that. And yeah, and I just came from watching Film Theory's video, which has made me even more hyped. I would have loved to see the apocalyptic future, but again, that's just me. I'm not gonna get into spoilers again. I'm just gonna very lightly touch on things. Other characters like Aquaman, I feel like were really done well, because like in the original Justice League, he was a jerk. You know, he was that guy who really didn't care about anyone or anything. Like, he's just a typical guy who's just mean for no reason. In fact, in the original Justice League, I think there was a third act breakup. In this movie, there's no third act breakup. These characters have actually grown to care about each other to a point where even if they fail, they don't split up and go their separate ways and only come back because together we're stronger. Like in the original Justice League, that team was dysfunctional. They didn't know how to operate. In this movie, they actually feel like characters who've known each other. And so having Aquaman be a nice guy in this movie, or at least be a nice guy deep down, I really like that. And I really liked his and Cyborg's moment when he's like, my man, when he's like throwing, when Cyborg is like throwing Aquaman through the air. Wonder Woman and Batman are like fine in my opinion. Their characters are pretty much the same from the original Justice League. Not much difference has gone on there. Though I do like how Bruce has tried to become more of a better friend to Superman. I like how Batman has tried to become more of like Superman's wingman. Like he really does feel guilty for the part he played in BVS. So I'll give credit there. Wonder Woman, she's fine. I just wonder why her theme music has to play every time she's on screen. What the hell? At first I thought it was a joke, but seriously, this is a problem. What the hell? I also like all the references and Easter eggs to like the other comics this movie has. I really enjoy that. Like, oh hey, I recognize that from the comic. Oh hey, I recognize that from this TV show. Because I'm also kind of a DC fan as well. So seeing all these Easter eggs and references, really just icing on the cake for me. I do wish we could have seen more of the villains though. Like Steppenwolf was a really good villain for this movie. Instead of just being the bad guy because I'm the bad guy from the original Justice League, in this movie he actually has a purpose, or at the very least he has something to do. He wants to impress the dark side. He wants to make his master proud of him because apparently he did something wrong in the past and now he wants to rectify that mistake. And I'm like, oh hey, that's a character arc I can get behind. Half the time I actually found myself rooting for Steppenwolf and I'm like, oh dang, if you actually got me to do that, then that's cool. Throughout this movie, I actually got to care for the heroes. I actually got to care about their journey and the story they go on. So good for you. You actually did something good in return. And yeah, obviously I knew Darkseid wasn't gonna do a lot in this film. He was just there to get the fanboys to pay to watch this movie. I obviously knew that, but I kind of wish he did a bit more. Again, I knew he wasn't gonna do much, but I kind of wish he did a bit more, where we get to see like maybe he uses his Omega beams. Like I'm pretty sure he only gets like 3 scenes in which he talks, and then the one time he uses his Omega beams is in a vision, not even in real life, in a freaking vision. What the hell? Again, the first hour and a half of this movie, very boring, but once I feel like the team starts getting together, I feel like the movie really does take off in those respects. So yeah, the writing and pacing is much better in this movie. Again, that's because this movie is twice as long as the original Justice League, so they have more time to do things like having Icelandic people sing. What was that whole thing about? Why was she smelling Aquaman's clothes? Ew. So, like, don't they smell like fish? So, like, in the original Justice League, the pacing was very bad. The visuals were disgusting. In this movie, the visuals actually look good. They don't look fantastic or spectacular, but I can at least tell when a fight scene is happening. I can at least enjoy the action for what it is. It's not grainy or unnoticeable or weird. And the pacing is much better because they have twice the amount of time on their hands. Like, scenes are actually extended. Scenes are actually extended to explain what happens in them. How does A connect to B? How does B connect to C? The backstory Wonder Woman tells Batman was really well done. I actually really enjoyed that backstory. It's probably one of my favorite scenes from the movie, getting to see like the different clans of Earth unite. Like we get to see Asians fighting along with Europeans, fighting along with Africans, and then we get to see the Green Lanterns come in and fight Darkseid. That was a really cool backstory flashback scene. I really enjoyed that. And that wasn't in the original movie. In the original movie, it was kind of like, oh yeah, Green Lanterns, Kryptonians, a few Amazons, the gods, those guys fought, Darkseid left, bye. He left 3 mother boxes, bye. In this version, it actually gets explained a lot. And that's what I really like about this version, is that time is given to certain things. Yes, this is still a Zack Snyder movie. Yes, there is still slow-mo, but time is given to the important things. Time is given to Superman for him to recover his memories. Time is given to Flash for him to like think about his father or do the crazy thing at the end. Time is given to Cyborg for him to understand his powers. Everyone is given their each amount of time to grow as their own character. We even get a scene of Steppenwolf like, what's this? Of like throwing a dude on the beach. Hell, there was even the scene on where the Mother Box like jumps out of Superman's ship and then lands on this car. In the original, the Mother Box landed on the car. Steppenwolf came in, grabbed the box, and left. In this movie, they extended a bit further, where we have Cyborg's father grab the box, he takes it to his lab, he marks the box, dies, and then Steppenwolf grabs the box and leaves. It would have been so easy for Steppenwolf to just grab the box and leave, and the heroes find some other way to find the box. But here, it actually takes its time. We got an extra 2 to 3 minutes of seeing how everything connects. Everything feels less rushed. Everything feels more connected. And I like that about this movie. That was my biggest problem with the original Justice League. The pacing and the action and just the overall storytelling was bad. In this movie, it feels good. And so, having Zack Snyder take full control of this movie felt good. It felt good to see things from his vision. Again, I don't think he's the best director. I honestly don't think he's the best in my opinion. There are a lot of Zack Snyder stans in the wild. Like, there are a lot of people who root for this guy and who really love him. I'm like, he's okay, but there are a lot of people out there who really love Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is like the dream of movies. Like, you know how Dream is to Minecraft, Zack Snyder is to movies. People will kill you if you say something bad about this character. Snyder is not a great character. That's just me making fun of the Snyder fans. But yeah, a lot of people are like really Snyder toxic, and so I'm like, he's not that great of a director. Here I can't see some of that shining through. This feels more like a finale for him. This is more like Zack Snyder telling us, his audience, that this is the last film he's ever making, because I honestly feel like he gave it his all for this movie. Obviously, he's not going to stop filmmaking, but I feel like he gave it his all. And I also like how he dedicated this movie to his daughter. Because for those who don't know, when he was making the original Justice League, his daughter passed away with, bad family tragedy. And so he had to step down as director because, he had to take time off. And that's when Joss Whedon came in and became the new director for the movie. So for this movie, he was taking full control, and I liked how he dedicated it to his daughter. And I feel like for this man, I feel good for him that he finally got closure on this chapter of his life, and he finally got to put away the most painful memories and moments of his life, and at least it went out on a bang. So yeah, Justice League 2021 Snyder Cut Edition is a pretty good movie. I advise you go check it out, if only like for the second half of the movie. It's pretty much the same as the original Justice League, but done in the right way this time. So overall, I think I would give it a 7, 8 out of 10. Not a bad movie. Definitely still has some things holding it back, but oh boy, is it a big step up from the past. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. I have been Captain Phoenix. Be sure to hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think. Please get me up to 100 subs. I really need it. I need it. And yeah, like if you haven't, again, share this video with your friends, and why not? This has been Phoenix's review of Godzilla and Justice League. Ignore that title card over there. That is definitely not part of my video. With that, thank you guys so very much for watching. Like if you haven't already. Like if you've liked. Wait, no, how did it say it? Like if you have liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. And of course, I advise that you just check out my channel. And yeah, according to statistics, over 90% of my audience isn't subscribed, so you better do that right away. I've been Captain Phoenix, and I will see you in another universe.